Good evening, VD Control. Mr. Kimball? You haven't got it again? But that's the third time this month. All right, we'll send a nurse round to see you. Goodbye.
Yes, well, actually, Frank, of course, you are quite right, but we've got football fever as well, and we've got a great show. We've got cartoons, music from Alan Price, and we've got Delia Smith and John Craven. They're going to be swapping at Ipswich and at Highbury. And up in Scotland at Hampden Park, Cheggers will be up there finding out about the Scottish Cup final. And, of course, we've got... I can't keep up that face, I'm sorry.
In the meantime, hello, VT Control.
Thank you, darling. This is the Cuddly Ken Show, and to prove it, here's the weather. Drab, dull, drizzly, and dreary. Sorry, it's not my fault. It's him, up there.
On your radio again comes the strength of Cuddly Ken.
Precisely.
And what a strain it'll be. Look at the script. What a thin show. And don't forget, today we have some more of that.
Jesus, the insecurity up in that control box.
Say again, please.
Took them 8 years to have a honeymoon up there.
And cue.
Well, let's admit it, that's not going very well. So let's have a look at what's going on camera 3.
Life goes on.
That's the wrong line.
Come on, man. Put some milk easy. Oh, Miss Selkin.
Yes?
You tripped over the wire.
This was the noblest Roman of them all the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar.
Coming to you, Basil.
Did that they did in envy of great Caesar.
Coming to you, Basil. Good afternoon, dear lady.
Smarmy, old man.
Oh, I do beg your pardon. I did not wish to so appear.
What?
I merely wish to purchase a reviving... Oh, God. I'd like to order a reviving...
I don't want any of your suggestions. In fact, any more of them, and I'll call my husband.
Trouble, my dear.
You gave him my name and address?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that for then?
Why did I do it? Well, there's no point in both of us getting into trouble, is there?
Well, dear me, you better start that bit again, shouldn't
What?
you? Yeah, better start that bit again.
Start that bit again?
Ask you a different question, I think.
You ask me another question,
Yes,
I'll give
I
you a
will.
different answer, mate.
Now, come on, Will Mart. Yeah, gee,
How did the camera 3?
I suppose we're all going to have to strive together to create a new society. Haven't put it down. All right, I suppose we'll all have to strive together to make a new society. We shall build a fine...
Hey, look at this. It's magic, Tim. This isn't going round at all.
All right, I suppose we'll all have to strive together to create a new society. We shall build a fine world, and we shall build it... I suppose we all have to strive together to create a new society. We shall build a...
Well, now, let's change the mood a little and listen to a few musical numbers.
Excuse me, Mr. Bendall.
Yes. I beg your pardon?
Excuse me, sir. You know Slob Dungmore from...
Very well, yes.
From VT Control.
Mate of mine, yeah.
Very pongy down there. Are you free for meal relief in VT14?
Not 14. Draw the line at 14.
He's trouble. Could you step this way, Mr. Bendel?
We appear to have lost that program due to lack of finance.
The BBC requires engineers to work in the London area and regional centres, in videotape recording, television studios and switching centres.
This would be fine. If you get that closer. It's got fold back, echo send, prune juice, eggs and bacon. Yes, indeed, Angelo. Well done, Graham. We'll have another contest in about 10 minutes. It's a backwards one and no cheating with tape machines. This is the record. Turn myself off. This is the record you can hear right after this little box.
No, stop. Too much.
Well, first, here is Bert Ford with the weather.
It's fiddling down out here.
Just to the southwest of us here, the temperatures are nearer 12 degrees centigrade. That's 54 degrees Fahrenheit. And that milder air there is associated with these fronts here.
Good afternoon to you. Well, as you can see, we still have this persistent depression over the television centre. In other parts, things aren't too bad, really. We're still getting these changeable decisions from the presentation department, a good deal of wind, too, from sports department, as usual. But in other parts, things are looking up, really. Quite bright prospects in store for the Yorkshire area, for the Granada area as well, and for ATV. In these areas, things really are bright in prospect. Now, one thing that I've got to remind you about the weather is that it's pretty wet underfoot, especially if you've been to the club. And another thing that you ought to be told is that a red sky at night simply means that your autochroma is out of range. Well, that's today's weather. Let's have a look at tonight's weather now. And of course, there isn't any weather tonight because, like everything else in Television Centre, the weather isn't allowed to work after midnight. But I do have a couple of cold fronts to show you.
Ouch, very painful. Meanwhile, back in the studio, things aren't going too well. You're going to like these. They're real crackers. Oh.
Oh, Mr. Randall. There's a couple of very nice crackers there.
Now, clicking towards oblivion. How long, K9?
Insufficient data.
Yeah, you never fucking know the answer when it's important.
Look, my special guest tonight is one of the most popular singers in the world, and I'm not going to get through this because he's telling me that it's gone wrong. It's what's called in the BBC handbook a technical cock-up.
It's been planned.
As you're going to be. I'm not happy with it at all, but I'll do it.
He's Marco. He's being professional, thank you.
Listen, don't you talk to me about me fucking professional. Now you piss off.
I would like